guys. Right, let me add the girls in.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, girls.
We did it. We did it. We did
It worked.
It's actually quite simple.
You should have seen the mad rush I just did to make sure I was on time.
I know. Yeah, me too. Me too. Literally crazy. Right. I want to change the lighting a little bit. It's a bit bright. One sec.
Oh, thank you so much for joining, guys. I can see all my followers on here. Thank you.
So, guys, this is our first live, our first ever. Excited time.
Very excited.
I can see people are joining now. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. So, yeah, welcome to the Boston It Live IG. And yeah, it's basically you guys just speaking about focusing on topics such as what we've kind of got the questions about I've got in front of me. And then you guys can just have open discussion and we'll go on to the other girls that are after you. It's a bit crap that we can't have everybody on one screen, but it's fine. It's fine. So shall we just introduce ourselves?
Yeah.
First of all, so should we start with Chelsea because she's on top next to me?
Hey, so I'm Chelsea. I am a mum of one, a toddler who is at the moment doing some weird stuff, but doing toddler stuff. He is 16 months, so he's little still. I am a founder of a startup, edtech startup, and also a land buyer. So very entrepreneurial.
Fantastic. And you are the youngest of our group, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm the baby of the
The
group.
baby of the group. Aww. And then we have Yasmin. Do you want to introduce yourself, girl?
Hi, I'm Yasmin. I'm 32. I have a young 3.5-year-old boy. I'm in HR and recruitment. Yeah, and I'm funny, I think.
You are.
You are funny.
I am, innit? I am. Out of 10.
And then we have Layla. Love you, Layla.
Hello, everyone who doesn't know me. I'm Layla. I'm 31 years old. I have a 6-year-old daughter called Bella. I am divorced. I, by day, have a really successful career in civil engineering, and all my free time I spend raising awareness for domestic abuse on Instagram. And I'm so excited to be here. This is my first live where someone else is going to interview me.
Oh, yes. Usually Layla's the one that's doing the live with other people.
Yeah, this is so exciting.
I know, and the fact that there's four is cool. Okay, so a little bit about
cool.
me.
New feature.
You guys still there?
Yeah.
A little bit about me. So I am a mother of one. My daughter is 3. And I'm the founder of the podcast. So a lot of these girls I've known from school, or over working with other people. And we've all kind of come together as one quite organically. I would say the group chat's quite lit.
Yeah.
Very lit.
Very lit.
So yeah, no, we just like kind of come together during a pandemic, and we've bonded over just like little silly things, and we've been able to kind of have a bond before we go on screen. So hopefully our podcast will be coming out late summer. And then you guys will be able to watch that via YouTube, basically. So should we go right into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. Cool. So the first question, I had to write it down because my memory is awful. I would say
I
it's
don't
baby
remember the
brain.
questions. Baby brain is still there. I've got an excuse because he's only 16 months. You gotta get it together.
I shouldn't even be using that anyway. Okay. So the first question is, what does it mean to be a lady in 2021 to you personally? That's a big question.
How we starting?
Who's going first?
Let's go with,
I'll
who
go
wants to go
because I'm
first?
gonna forget.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
forget what I wanted to say.
go on.
But I think it means what you want it to mean, to be honest. I don't think there's any definition anymore of a lady. It used to be prim and proper and keep yourself together type of thing. But I feel like a lady is just whatever you want it to be, as long as you're genitalious, right? You're fine. And even then, that's not even the case anymore. So
Well, yeah.
it's open for discussion now. I think the equality is actually starting to approach, and we're kind of stripping back the labels and stereotypes of what a woman is and what a man is, because I mean we have to take over most of the manly jobs these days, and do everything. So it's like, how can I be a lady when I'm doing a man's job? Just let me be.
There you go.
And I'm out.
All right. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I think a lady to 2021 is all about being independent, expression, strong, empowering each other. And I'm seeing a lot of it more lately. You know, women are just boosting each other. So yeah, that's what 2021 is all about, I think, for a lady.
Okay.
Over and out.
Lena.
So funny that this question is like, and today of all days, because it's International Women's Day, right? I woke up this morning, I had all this stuff planned in my head. I was going to post my story on Instagram, and then guess what? Real life caught up with me. My work commitments, being a mum, taking Bella to school, the school run got in the way, and I ended up posting maybe 3 or 4 things today. And so for me, being a woman in 2021 means that all of those plans that we have for ourselves, they go out the window, and we just have to adapt. We have to adapt. And you know what Chelsea said? Yes, we are most of the time doing 2 roles. We're doing the woman and the man job. Sucks to say that, but honestly, that's the reality of women in 2021.
And do you guys feel like by taking on the male's role, then what does the male have? What's his role in the household? It's blurred.
Oh, what is your purpose? Why are you here?
Who's going to answer that one?
That's another topic.
Yeah, big topic. I don't even know what that feels like. To be honest.
I feel like the thing is I feel like men, they have this big like provider role, and then when a woman says you're independent, all of a sudden it means that you don't want a man around, you don't want to be in a relationship. Actually, being independent means that you can do all those things by yourself, with or without a partner, regardless of whether it's a man or a woman, whoever you decide to date. But a lot of the time that independence is lost in our society right now. I feel like women have to constantly prove we're strong all the time, and if we don't have a smile on our face and we're constantly doing everything right, we're doing something wrong, and that's not fair.
I don't know though with men's roles. I get confused. What is a man's role? You know, like I feel like women nowadays are providers and, you know, take care of the household. So I actually get confused with what is a man's role. You know,
I think traditionally it was a woman stays at home and then a man goes out and provides.
Yeah, but nowadays
but
it's
now
not like that at all. Yeah.
Gone. So I think that's like the big question mark. It's like, what are you doing? What are you here for? Type of thing. But I mean, it's I think everyone, no one wants to be on their own completely, unless you do, and that's completely fine. But no one really wants to be on their own. So I feel like when you have a man and a woman in a relationship, it's equality still. You can still provide equally, and I mean, 2 is always better than 1.
I think it more so is like that this day and age. Yeah. definitely.
Unless you can prove that you can make 2 earnings in one.
Exactly. Yeah, 2 is
Then
more.
you don't need no
what
one
about,
else, girls.
I
well,
know.
what about the balance for the child? Because we're talking about ourselves, but what are the balance for the child?
Listen, don't get me started on this. My experience on this is you don't
Layla's
need
like
a second parent. You don't need a second parent. Anyone who is on here and is a single mother, you are all good by yourself. Don't doubt yourself. Your
I feel
child
like
gets
it's
what they
nice
need
to
from
always
you.
have a second parent, or not even a second parent, a second person, because that offload. Sometimes we need an offload, you know. And there's some things that you can't teach your child. So even if it's, I can't teach mine to stay still right now. But even if it's not another parent, a parent figure, or either a grandfather, grandmother, whatever, just an extra person
uncle.
to help.
Absolutely.
Yeah, an uncle.
Absolutely agree.
That extra part is always helpful, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been a single mum for 2 years, over 2 years now, and been doing it on my own. And it does
A
help
lot.
that, yeah, and it does help that I've got my family, like my mum and my sister, to help a lot. But yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
it
It
takes
is
a
tough.
village. It seriously does. It still does. Regardless of how modern anything is, it still takes a village to raise a child and to raise them to be a good
Absolutely.
person. Because, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're the only one if you take the role of everything, then
Mm.
it's only your input, you know? So how are they going to kind of have different experiences and different morals and make their own decisions if they only know you?
Yeah. So
True,
true.
but it's
Absolutely.
doable. It's doable. There's
It
so
is
It's
many
doable.
doable.
people.
It is
Some of us
doable.
have no
That,
choice.
Yeah.
Some of
yeah,
us have zero choice. There's
Yeah.
women like me who live, they're isolated, they're far away from their family, their support
Mm.
group, they're divorced or they're separated from the father of their child. You have no choice. It's do or die. It really is.
Yeah.
You either adapt or you sink.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
at that point, like, I want women to understand that it is possible, not just to adapt, but to enjoy it too. To still
absolutely.
have a good life, even if you are just the only person who is the caregiver to your child, life can still be good.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Moving on to the next question. We'll go to the questions in a little bit, yeah? Okay, so the second question is, how do women contribute to the world we live in? So I
Most
guess,
of the work. That's how.
in terms of your personal experiences,
How? Oh, can you repeat
who
that
wants to go?
actually?
Sure. How do women contribute to the world we live in?
Contribute.
Politics, anything.
Should I be honest?
Go for
Sadly,
it.
I don't feel like we have enough of a contribution. We like to think that there's a lot of equality in high-ranking positions, but really, there's always going to be a glass ceiling for women. For as long as we don't fight for this change, for as long as we admit that, yes, times have changed for women. We are freer to do things that, like, our mothers couldn't do and our grandmothers couldn't do. But we still have a lot of freedom to fight for too, and we have to be realistic with that so that we pave the way for our daughters and for the younger generation. I feel like if we keep burying our head in the sand and be like, yeah, look, we're so free and we can do whatever we want, I don't feel like we're going to make too much of an impact on society. So it's great to have female prime ministers and presidents and queens and that, but we need more. I don't feel like there is enough female influences in our society right now.
Yeah, I
Right.
agree. There's not enough female advocates. It's a small handful. I do agree with that.
Okay. And in terms of the question in a whole, Yasmin, Chels.
The question as a whole, I think, to be honest, we contribute a lot because we do a lot. And even if it is to influencing a man, as sorry, I just read the question. I'm just a bit confused. But the way we kind of influence, if we speak about things, it's going to feed into different people, right? So there's only, think today, prime example, Meghan and Harry. Meghan's obviously told Harry and he's changed things. So even if we are still behind, our input is still always going to make a difference to the right people and to the people that that really does need to make a difference too, and the people that are willing to make the changes. Because if there is this hierarchy of Mao, we've still got to infiltrate that some way. So we have to do something. We can advocate on our own, but if the leaders are not taking any notice, we're still going to be in the same position, just shouting all the time. So
I mean, are we talking from like a celebrity perspective, or are we talking about, you know, Instagram influencers,
Yeah,
or
like generally. So I was going to say to input to the question is that by creating our own thing, by creating our own spaces, by creating our own hubs, for example, creating this podcast, which is going to help people and contribute to women's lives. At the end of the day,
yeah,
contributing to society and
yeah,
making sure
absolutely.
change your lives.
Absolutely. I think like social media is so powerful. So, you know, from, you know, embracing different body types, you know, there's loads of women that are doing that, you know, from makeup to, you know, fashion to, you know, a whole page about, you know, polycystic ovaries. I think it's, you know, there's a lot of women out there dedicated, giving their time, you know, and putting content out there. So yeah, there's a lot of contribution out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
You never know who's going to see it and who's going to make a decision based on it. So I feel like
Definitely.
that was kind of the point I was trying to make without making it. You know, I'm not going to make
it.
We're on the same wavelength then.
Yes, yes. I can hear kids. This is motherhood realness.
You know what? That's it. This is when people ask you, what is it like to work from home? This is what it's like to work from home.
This is real life.
Chaos.
This is real life. Yeah.
Listen, when we do our Zoom lives, all you see is me going in and out of the session because I'm literally putting my daughter back to bed. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Next question. It's almost the same-ish. So, how best can women leave their imprint on society?
Shout about everything you are passionate about. Talk about it. Scream it from the rooftops. Make Instagram pages. Go on Twitter. Go on YouTube. Say how you really genuinely feel. And don't stop until you feel like the whole world is listening to you.
Amen.
Wow.
If you can't see the change, and as cliche as it sounds, be the change. It's possible.
Yeah, that's some like Dalai Lama, SHIT, but
Maya Angelou.
Yes. Together we rise.
No, honestly, and to add to that, I think doing whatever you want to do. I mean, if it means starting your business, whatever your business may be, just leave your mark always. Whatever you feel is going to make a difference, because someone will always talk about your business, and someone will always talk about, even if you fail hard, but tell everyone how you failed so that they can then learn from your failures as well. Just do everything you want to do. Try everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And Yasmin?
I'm gonna have to agree with that. You know, one of the hate comments has just threw me off, to be honest.
Yeah,
ignore it.
You know what? Like, people have no idea.
That's what threw me when I was asked.
I didn't see it.
Well, exactly. People have no idea, you know, what people have gone through. And, you know, making assumptions and stuff. So that's why I'm just a bit taken aback already.
Yasmin, do you know what's really funny? Before I read that comment properly, I actually thought it was aimed at me.
Oh, really? No idea.
I thought it was aimed at me until I read it properly. So listen, girl, you're here now, and you're here to make a change in the world. Forget those comments. Forget them. Yeah. They're bored. They've got nothing better to do with their lives.
Yeah.
It just literally went.
And look, thank you. And then the comments like this make up for it as well. So. Thank you, Amen. Oh, God.
It's our first live and we're getting haters already, guys. We're doing something right. We're on the right track.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Goodness.
Yeah. Don't worry about
what was
that.
the question?
So basically, how best can women leave their imprint on society?
By empowering each other. accepting each other, supporting each other, you know, even like you can disagree, but you know, in a politely. It doesn't need to be animosity, you know. Share your views, but it doesn't need to be hate. But yeah, it's all about empowering, uplifting each other. I've been fortunate enough to have, you know, special people in my life that showed me this and made a difference about being positive, and that would lead, yeah. So yeah,
That's amazing. And I feel like with all of us coming together, we all have different personalities. And I think it's just showing people that we can all come together and just do one job, which is help others by talking about our experiences, talking about things that we've gone through or things that we're about to go through. And yeah, by helping others kind of leaves an imprint on people's lives anyway, whether it's from this live to when we're doing our TV talk show, whether we're you never know where this can take us. We're going to
space, that's all I'm saying.
Literally just watch this space. So cool. Next question. So tell us about one woman who has positively impacted your life and why.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous about answering this question here because I don't have a single one person, and I don't want to sound like, again, all my answers like really cliche, but I've taken strength and inspiration from just normal everyday women, like maybe my friends' mothers, women I've met at work, but they always happen to be older women that I look up to, and I think you've been through stuff in your life and you've got through the other end. And so I can't answer that with just one person. And I couldn't answer it and say, I take inspiration from myself, because I genuinely do turn to other women that I know in my real life for that. I can't just rely on me all the time. So for me, it's about turning to women who are mothers, who have had amazing careers, or who have made certain choices in their life that where other women wouldn't have. They've been brave, where other women would have been scared to do that. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have just a one specific answer.
Yeah, that's fine. There's no real cookie cut answer, is there? It's just about, you know, your personal experience. So thank you. Yasmin, Chels?
I would say two of my best friends, to be honest with you. They you know when you're going through a lot, and you know, it's so easy to get into that negative mindset, and you know, and when you have good people around you, strong women that are positive thinkers, they teach you how to rewire your brain and, you know, think positive and just uplift each other. So definitely, you guys know who you are. So yeah.
For me, I personally, hello baby.
Hello.
To pinpoint one person, and it's funny because I don't know her at all, but she shared her story, and just it really spoke to me, because everything that she said she'd done for her son was exactly the same things that I was doing for mine. Lisa Nichols, I don't know if anyone knows her or seen her.
Sounds familiar.
Like she's done really well in business, but she shared her story. Please do have a look if you can. She's got a really great talk on impact theory, and when I watched it, I was like, oh my god, this woman is me and I am her, because everything that she said and the way that she rationalized her actions is exactly the same way that I have done when it comes to obviously raising my son. So yeah, she was one person that I can pinpoint, just to pinpoint someone, but there's so many. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, mine was pretty easy. Mine is my mom. Cliche, yeah, we know. She's in there somewhere in the IG. She's like, Corinne, don't drink any alcohol when you're going on the live. I'm like, one, I've got runny belly, and second of all, I'm 33 this year. Like, no, yeah, my mom. Just because, yeah, supportive, really, and that's all I kind of need, whether it's with my daughter, work, overall life. Jane's saying a little whiskey. No, thank you. But yeah, Mum. And I, that's it. That's all I can think of, really. There's nobody else that's impacted my life in that way.
No one beats a mama.
And I want to be that for my daughter too.
Yeah, amen to that. Amen.
If she picks somebody else, she picks somebody else.
Well, I just didn't want to be cliche.
Please,
I know, it's so hard. It's so hard. I think automatic. You think of your mum, but you know, sometimes I feel like I have to think outside. Who else? You know.
And that's good that you have loads of people that support you or contribute to your life in that way.
Oh,
whereas
definitely.
I feel like, I don't know if it's me personally, but I just feel like when it comes to work, like I don't really tell people much about what I'm doing. They just see it. Yeah. Okay, cool. So should we go through the questions if there's any? I thought there were. I'm just gonna scroll up.
Welcome to the world of Instagram Live. We have to try and keep up with all of the comments, and then one.
Yeah, I need like an assistant right next to me to do this. Eli's makes me physically sick when they try and challenge it. I also remember seeing more fathers staying at home. Oh yeah, I'm seeing a lot of fathers stay at home as well. What are you guys? Are you seeing that? No? Yes?
I haven't.
At stay and play, and the mum is out earning. Hey Mason. How do you handle accepting help from others in that situation? I'm not sure what situation they mean. How do you handle accepting help from others in that situation? I guess
I don't accept help from anyone. I don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
And a lot of single mothers have that mentality because you're thrown in on the deep end. You've had massive amounts of rejection in past relationship, or maybe with the father of your child, and you stop accepting help. It's not a healthy mind state to be in, and it's one that I try and change. Like I challenge myself all the time with that. So that's my answer. I don't accept the help. I don't look for help anywhere else either.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, I am very particular who I accept help from. To be honest with you, I feel like I'm overprotective, even though when it's tough. So just my closest dearest I'd accept help from. But yeah, and that would be like, you know, very rare as well.
I'm the same. very selective with who I select help from. Just for the reasons where I'm like, this is my child and it might be my only one. So I don't want any. It might be the way he's climbing. No, honestly, I don't want. You know what? In this life, I feel like nowadays we're a lot more conscious. Because I know a lot of people previous generations and my friends and other people, they'll just be left with anyone till God knows what time and no one. But you know, when you see things and you're like, what I'm doing really is not that important to put my son in that, or my child in that situation that I personally didn't like when I was a kid, being left at some random person's house, you know. So it's like you just make decisions. I feel like you make a lot more conscious decisions these days, and that's why I think we're all getting very selective.
Yeah, just because there's just so much sick people, let's just put it plainly, out there. So obviously you try and protect your children as much as possible, and if that means that, you know, I'd rather you stay home than go, then, because even you might have somebody that I don't know, maybe the dad's taken the child and then he may have friends over, so it's just like, then we're opening up that kind of vibe. So yeah, sometimes it's just best to just keep him home
Ammon, I
Also,
will sign your Jordans. Sorry, I will sign your Jordans. Don't you worry.
also take this into
Yeah,
also
you are
take
like
into
on
consideration at
fire.
Ted Baker, where women were also sexually harassed. Ted Baker, where women, I don't know. Who worked at Ted Baker? Any of you girls?
Nope.
No. Okay. We don't know what that means, guys. Sorry. There's so much beauty on this screen right now. Thank you.
Thank
Right,
you.
my mum. Do you feel that you have lost who you are through being a mum?
No. I feel like I've become a public person and I kind of like her more.
Girl? Lay?
Yes, you go next.
Not being a mum. No. No, I wouldn't say not being a mum. I lost myself over other situations, but not being my mum, not being a mum.
Okay.
I agree with Yasmin. I think I lost myself in my relationship with my ex-husband, but that had nothing to do with me being a mother, and it had everything to do with the way he treated me. And sadly, I doubted myself so much because I believed in someone else's words, and it did have an impact on the kind of mother I am. But since leaving my ex-husband and having this freedom to be the parent that I want to be, I now truly am I am the real mum. This is the mother that I was always supposed to be, the one who worked hard, who grinds, who puts a roof over our heads. And that's the kind of mother I am. I'm not that mum that could just stay at home with my child 24/7.
That's me too, I would say. I don't know about you guys, but was I naturally maternal? Yeah and no. I think it was yeah and no. Just from having like a younger brother and having younger cousins around me, I was always kind of just like, not the mummy figure, but you know, just overseeing them. But it did take a lot of time for me to kind of like get into my groove in terms of find out who I am as a mum. One thing you don't want to do is follow what your parents done with you. I know a lot of people go through that thing where, okay, well, I'm just going to do what my mum did because it worked. I think it's really important to kind of feel out your own journey. There's going to be obviously a lot of people that are going to be like, do this, do that, do this, do that. But I think it's honest, and it's almost better for you to kind of work through your own way. Honestly. That's me personally.
And guys, I'm so sorry. On that note, I have a work call to take in like 3 minutes. I'm so
All right,
sorry.
we're at the end now.
I'm so sorry. I gotta go. That's the reality of being a working mum. That's it.
Exactly.
It never stops. I wish I could stay here all night.
No worries. Okay, cool. Well, we'll cut off and then we'll bring the other girls in. But thank you, girls, for joining.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
See
ya.
ya.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Right, guys. So we are going to get the other girls in. Let me just see how I'm going to do that. Jane, you've got a request. Noor, you've got a request. I see Jane coming in. Alvina coming in.
Hey.
Hello. Right, Noor, where are you, girl? So can I do it from my iPad? I think so. I'm not sure. Can you?
I don't know.
What's the difference?
I don't think you can do a live on an iPad.
Oh. No, you got to do it on your phone, babes. How are you, girl? You look
good. How are you?
I'm sporting the Spice Girl buns today. It's all about girl power.
I love it.
I'm feeling it. It's cute. Right, girl. No. Okay, she's saying okay. Was you guys tuned into the first one?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
Very...
How are we gonna follow up to that? Honestly.
It's just about personal experiences. There's no competition, girls.
Listen,
Right.
oh wow, no, that was amazing, powerful, very powerful, a lot of powerful.
Yeah, you're in.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Shut the other one off. This is confusing.
I feel like we're on one of our Zoom meetings.
Yeah, literally, because you can see us. Okay.
No kids.
No kids. So, guys, this is the other cast members of the Boston It series. You just saw 3 of the other girls. These are the other 3. So we've got Jane, Vina, and Noor. So they'll just kind of give you guys a little background about themselves, and then we'll dive into the questions. Shall we go Jane first?
Hi guys. So my name is Jane. I am, how old am I? Oh my God, I'm 31.
30.
It was weird saying that because I'm so used to saying 30, but yeah, I've jumped. I'm now 31. A 31 mother of 3. I run a small business of my daughter Leela, and I also am employed as a graphics designer, and yeah, just living life to the fullest.
Alvina.
I'm Alvina. Hello. I'm aged 30. I have 2 children, a 9-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter. It gets like that. And yeah, I run a community organisation, and we just do lots of different communities things. Yeah.
Cool. No.
Hi guys. Okay, so my name is Noor. I'm 33, and I have 2 children, 9 and 8. Actually 10. She just turned 10 on Friday. Gosh, 2 double digits, mad. So I'm doing personal training. I've graduated sports science, and I'm actually getting back into it recently. And yeah, that's literally, if you want to check it out, nutrition.
Hey.
So I'll put that in there. But,
yes.
yeah, and I guess I will forever be a mother.
Yeah, forever and ever. Forever and ever. Okay, so shall we dive into the questions?
Yes, girl.
Okay, cool. So the first question is, what does it mean to be a lady in 2021?
Wow. What a time to be alive, girls. Honestly, I mean, there's been so much. I think this generation, there's just been so much progress in, you know, the fact that we got more opportunities than anyone else than before. I mean, just speaking from experience, I can actually say I'm allowed as a woman to run my own business. Back then, that would never have happened. Like, it would have been such a struggle. Being alongside my daughter, you know, being able to make my own decisions, being able to empower young black and brown women as well. It's a whole journey. I mean, there's so much to be done, yes, but we are in a process of progress. And I think for this year in particular, it's all about being fearless and having that strength and the knowledge and understanding your rights a lot more and being able to use them. And I think that's what 2021 is for us right now. It's a land of opportunities for us. But yeah, there's still much to be done. But yeah.
Fabulous, love that. Who wants to go next?
Yeah, I think. Oh,
go for it. Go for it.
I think being a lady in 2021 is just being a lady in 2021. I think it's exactly that. Just being you, just being whatever you are. It's that. I think there's like no way to be a lady, and I think it's just about being you. And I think there's all this like pressure on us. There's so much expectations. I think we are a lot more. We do have a lot more opportunities, and you know. But I think there is also this kind of false sense of like liberation. It's like, oh, you can be who you want to be, but then not like that. Do you know what I mean? They've always got something. There's always something, you know, that an input. Someone's always got something to say, and I think just be. You are her. She is you. You are she. Yeah. All of that. You know what I mean?
Yes. No.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was just thinking there. I was thinking about a few things actually. Obviously, like what the other girls were saying before, like, you know, looking at you know, our parents and, you know, our grandparents, how they were brought up, and, you know, the things they had to do in their generations, and, you know, being a lady was a lot different. You know, even down to the way you speak, the way you walk, you know, the way you carry yourself. And now I think it's totally different. And I do think, like what Jane said, the pandemic as well is, I think it's pulled people back into kind of like this space where you can, you know, vision yourself to be anything you want. And being a lady, like, you know, everyone's saying, is literally becoming who you want to become. And for me as well, I didn't really think of, you know, quitting my job, and it was a really good job, you know, just like taking it a step further and doing my own thing. And now I find like I've woken up and said, you know what, actually 2021, I'm going to do what I've been wanting to do, and I'm going to do what I'm passionate about. And that's what it's all about, is not just being in that, you know, mindset of, oh, this is how a lady has to do this and this and this, and just do a 9 to 5 or do a whatever, and then come home, look after the kids or whatever. It's actually doing what you want to do and being happy is the most important thing.
Amen. Definitely. And to add to that, girls, do you feel like you took the same path as your mum?
Definitely not.
Different?
Definitely not. Yeah, no. No. I mean, my mom is super, super traditional. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love my mom to pieces, and I admire her for certain things that she does, but other things, I'm like, really? And she looks at me sometimes, you know, even at the dinner table, and she's like, you know, pick up the plates for your husband or whatever. And I'm like, no, he can do it himself. You know, like, that's just me. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
certain things, but, you know, other things what I, you know, that she does that I super admire. And that's just being so generous. You know, anyone that walks through the door, she's already laying out food, and she's, you know, certain things like that.
Yes.
You know, that's what we take from them. Their generosity and kindness is something else.
I mean, my mum, I would say, because she's from an older generation, right? So traditions, everything is a must for my mum. But I think back in the day, when I say back in the day, I'm talking about black and white pictures, right? She was a go-getter. Like in Seychelles, she had her own restaurant. She was running it with like, you know, she had childminder to look after like 7 kids and whatnot. And she was really going for it. She went to do her education to become a teacher. Like she made sure she was educated in every single field. But then she had more children, and you know, became to England. She kind of lost it, and I think I'm glad she doesn't have Instagram now, but I think it's the fact that she kind of calmed down, and she kind of got into that routine of doing the stay-at-home mum, making sure, you know, there's food on the table, making sure our clothes are ironed, socks are ironed, knickers are unnecessary things. But then I thought, like, what happens? Like, literally what happens? And that's one of the things that I want to try and push in my kids' heads. That it doesn't matter what age you are, you need to keep going. And I think that's, I don't know why that happened. I don't know if it's just because she's in a new country and she's seeing how things are. And I think at that time, and the year that she came, that it was very much, you know, be at home with the kids, and your husband's going to go off to work, which the case it was. But I do feel for her. There was like 6 of us, so I mean, childcare at that time.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot, thing.
Childcare out the window. So I mean, but I don't know. I just want to have that mindset of, doesn't matter what age you are, man. Just keep going. Literally, if you've got the passion for it, just keep going. Literally. But I don't know. Like Nola said, I love the traditions. I love having at every birthday we had this round wooden table. We'll sing happy birthday at her house continuously every year. And I think small little traditions like that, and I love that. But yeah, I don't think I could do that with the kids. I'm not really a wife, you know. Like, I'm not really like all about cook up. I love fry ups. I love cook up, everything. But it's manual that does it, you know. Sorry, that's my partner. He does that. He's got the whole traditions and things like that. I'm just the one that enjoys it.
A lady of luxury, honey.
Yeah, wow, lucky you.
Lucky you, innit? Alvina.
You know what? I think I'm like my mum to an extent. But then I think I kind of watch her and realise certain things that I don't want to do. My mum, she's a lady like full of ideas, so she does have that like entrepreneurial like spirit. But then I think she put that all on a back burner to kind of just like raise children and I think for me it's important to be like, I'm Alvina, I'm mum, but I'm also Alvina. And actually the other day ago, because I need to delegate, she's like, sometimes I feel like I'm just doing so much, so I got a cleaner, and then my mum was like, oh, you're lazy.
That is so funny you say that.
Yeah,
That
I'm like,
is so funny.
yeah, like, no, I'm a cleaner. And she's like, oh, you're lazy. And I'm like, well, why not?
I've been wanting a cleaner for time now.
Yeah. So I'm
I
like,
didn't get round to booking it.
but then, do you know what? Then I'm cleaning before the cleaner, because I'm like, oh, they can't come. That's a cleaner. So, yeah. So I'm like my mum to an extent, but I think that it's not up in motherhood and other people, and just, you know, I make sure that my cup's full, and then, you know, everybody else can have the extra, you know.
Hey.
Yeah.
Cool. Fabulous. I'm loving the answers, guys. I'm loving it. Okay, so next question. How do women contribute to the world that we live in?
Wow.
From your viewpoint.
If there was
Every way.
women, there would be no men.
Because the girls earlier said that they felt like women were doing quite a lot in terms of what the males usually traditionally do. So they feel like they're balancing quite a bit. So I don't know if you guys agree with that or
I mean,
don't.
I mean, look at my industry, for example. You know, the fitness industry is all very, like before, predominantly male, you know, dominated, and it was like, oh, to have a female trainer, like, oh, well, but you can't train me, you're a female, like, I'm a big guy. Now I think it's totally changed, and I think, you know, women obviously when we're saying on social media like that, and I just think that it's really good to see that, you know, women are forward, are knowledgeable. Even like when I was in my class, there was like 3 girls doing sports science, like predominantly male, and it was just like, now, you know, on social media as well, you see it's just booming. So it's really good to see that, yeah, we are having, you know, that impact as well in certain industries. So
Well done to you, girl.
Yeah.
Do you know,
Oh gosh.
Oh no, sorry, go on, Jane.
No, I was just echoing what Noor was saying. Like, even because I'm in the graphics and web design industry as well, and there's been like a surge for the past few years recently of women going into tech, and I think there's that opportunity for women now to be able to jump into that and contribute their skill sets, and you know that there's a space. I think women contribute in a sense of creating space to advocate for change and allowing us to empower other women, and I think that's one of the things that they do economically and politically, and you know, every single Italy, whatever it is. I literally feel like that we're able to do that. We're here for change. We're here to bring in more skills into these industries that are so man-led. And yeah, I think literally we do so much. That's all. So much, and we can do more. It's just we need to take advantage of being able.
Absolutely. There's some feedback coming back. I'm not sure if someone's got a TV on that's loud, or I don't know. Anybody got anything in the background? No?
No one's out there?
No, not me.
It's not me. Okay. All right, cool. Alvina?
Sorry, what was the question again? I forgot.
So how do we contribute to the world that we live in?
in so many ways. And I think sometimes we think it's got to be like this grand thing, like we've got to be advocates and we've got to be like killing it in, I don't know, in all these different areas. But sometimes it's just even like the small, just in small minor ways, like in our everyday interactions. Personally, like women that I know that have contributed so much to my life. So I've got like friends, cousins, family, and they don't understand the way that they've contributed. And I think sometimes we think it's got to be like I said, grand, and it doesn't have to be. I think, yeah, you just contribute by being, if I'm saying existing, and yeah.
Cool. And do you feel like there was any difference between being taught by women or men at school or in university or college?
Oh my God,
Did it make a difference?
I wouldn't say that any. I don't know if there was a difference. To be honest, I can't remember. My memory is rubbish. But in a recent workplace, there was a point where, I mean, sisters, have to be careful with what I'm saying now. But
yeah,
I'm the only female in the workplace, right? They're all men, and it came to a point where a certain male member was competing with me in the sense that he thought that he could do better than me, and I had to. I mean, there was resources there for me to train myself to get into a level that he was trying to, trying to exceed to. Can I say that? But I think I had to train myself, and I think that was the best knowledge that I could have done for myself because it pushed me to be where I needed to be. And it's just that whole experience of him trying to compete with me because he thought that he could do better. I was like, this is so petty, man. Like, how old are you? Like, come on. It really didn't do anything. And to be fair, my outfit, I'm just going to say that right now, but my outfit was 10 times better, and I got to where I needed to be because I trained myself. You go, girl. But the thing, I gained that confidence through my own training to be able to get where I need to be without having to depend on anyone else. So the question of having a male figure or a female figure to be able to, you need to do it yourself for you to know where you need to be. So I need to drink. So much.
I'll move on to the next question, girls. So how best can women leave their imprint on society?
Be a force.
Who wants to go, Karen?
The most powerful force you can be. I mean, be the force in empowering young girls and women. Be a force to always stand up for what's right. Be a force to always have the ability to overcome adversity. I mean, it's endless.
Endless.
Just be fearless. Be the best you can be.
That's
honestly. Something goes bang bang.
Yeah, I agree. There's nothing.
Sorry, guys, we're radio mothers. We still.
I mean, you can't take the West out of a girl. I mean, I know I'm in Surrey, but come on.
Funny. Who was going next?
I forgot the question again. Sorry, guys. Baby brain, and I actually have no babies. But yeah. What was the question again? Sorry.
How best can women leave their imprint on society?
Oh. No. I can't think.
It's kind of like similar to what everyone else is saying, really. Nothing really to add on that. Just be yourself. Don't be anyone else, and just be organic and do what you want to do. And like I said, the most important for me nowadays is just to be content and be happy, whatever it is you're doing. And don't feel pressured. Like some people, I don't know, they on social media they just have all these lavish outfits, or they have lavish vacations and all this, and you see people comparing themselves, and I just think nowadays I don't even hardly buy designer clothes anymore because I'm just like, you know what, I'm cool, I'm content. And I don't know, I'm just being real here. I'm not trying to sugarcoat this anymore. So
Good.
so yeah, and I just think that's having your imprint. If you know, and like some people, I admire hippie lifestyle, to be honest, camping and all of that, and doing just normal organic things. And that's just how I look at things nowadays. And I think if you're gonna do something, do it with your heart and soul. And that's really all I got to say about that.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And self-care.
Self-care.
Yeah, because I think, sometimes we don't kind of extend that love and that care to ourselves. Like we need it. And then I think we're not, like I said, I think I wrote that in one of the questions, my best advice I was given, and it's like, there you go. It was, take care of yourself first. And I think I've really been learning to do that, because sometimes I just feel like overwhelmed, and sometimes it's hard, things get overwhelming, and I think I've kind of learned to extend that care to myself. So whether that's just pouring that extra bit of bubbles in your bath, or what I do is I listen to like songs, and I like dedicate them to myself.
That's so cute.
Girl. I like dedicate them to myself, and it's like, it's so empowering. It's like, it literally is so empowering. Like, it's just so, I think self-love, self-care, and I think, a lot of people, especially with everything that's been going on, is struggling. Like, a lot of people I speak to are struggling right now, and I think, just extending that love and that care to yourself is just important, because, you're here.
And cry if you have to.
Yeah.
I did that. I did that this morning. If you want to, honestly,
and I think,
let it out.
I think literally, I think people, when you said cry, cry, I literally think people need to see you cry. It's like, I feel women in particular,
the release
public, they seem very vulnerable, or it's okay, it's human, and I think people need to see more of that. It needs to be more familiar and not feel like it's it's something that is bad, or that you have to get over it or man up or whatever. It's not. It's an emotion, and
but like they say, there's power in vulnerability, and I think I've kind of learned that. Like, I think it's easy for me to do the strong, especially as a Black woman. I think, like, there's that, like, you've got to be strong, and like you said, crying or kind of feeling vulnerable is like a weakness, and it's like, no, otherwise it's all just bottled up. So I think
exactly,
crying and being like, there's power in vulnerability. And I think, I don't know if I even answered the question, but I mean,
no, you did.
Okay.
And this is like our fake podcast, but real podcast, but before the podcast. Right. Okay, cool. So the last question. Tell us about one woman who has positively impacted your life, and why. Shall we start? Jane. Let's start with Jane. She's at the top.
I know it sounds so obvious, and I'm so sorry, but not sorry. My mama, she is the most amazing person. I mean, to be fair, she has not agreed on, or I don't know, like 2% of decisions I had made in my life. But saying that, she's imprinted a lot of things into me, in the sense of, like, how to work hard, do what you can with what you have, and how and when to use my strength. That is something I've learned for the past 2 years. Not to waste my strength on certain things. I've literally learned that from her.
Good.
I like help others. She's always been the helpful type, and I think I've literally inherited that. I love to help people, a bit too much, and I've learnt my lesson. But I like the fact that if I'm helping someone, they can use that, they can learn from that help and take it on themselves. That's what I see how. But she's taught me these superpowers that I didn't even know, and she's that's my mama.
Your mummy.
Oh, I wish she had Instagram, so I was like,
Who's next? My daughter just come back.
I'll go next. She's on the other side of the world in San Francisco, and she's never going to know that I said this. And I don't think a lot of people know this, but I say it to myself a lot, and it's my auntie. She can't have kids, and she always wanted kids, and she's so far away from her family. Her family are like in, you know, Iraq, Egypt, Jordan, London, and so she seems very far away. However, she always makes the effort to go and see everyone, whether it's in Iraq during the war, Baghdad, whether it's in London, whether it's, you know, all these other countries. She does it every year. And the thing is, everyone is surrounded by children, and she, although she would have loved to have her own on, she treats, or everyone sees her as, you know, this amazing woman, like everyone's mum. She's like everyone's mum. It's just incredible.
Oh, that's so
And
sweet.
she just makes everyone, like, whenever she, you know, comes in the room, everyone attends to her, and she can, you know, her advice, the way she talks, the way she looks at things, the way she makes you realize about certain situations, you know, just generally, she really does light up the room, as they say, and she is totally my inspiration.
Oh, that's a nice one. Alvina?
Mine's my grandma. She came to the UK from Antigua in, I think, maybe the late 40s, maybe 50s, after the Second World War, to help build back the country. And she worked, and she'll still have to go home. And at that time, navigating through the world as, you know, she's not only facing, let's say, racism, but like sexism as well. And then she'd have to go home and still do duties. And in the end, it was like domestic violence. And, you know, basically she left, her and my granddad broke up. But my mum always tells me, like, she never had like any hate in her heart. She would always, she didn't make, whatever she went through, you know, it didn't make her ugly. You know what I mean? She was able to be like, she would always tell them, you know, that's your dad, check for him. And yeah, like my mum just talks about the way she would help. And I suppose my mum, I see so much of my mum in her, and I see so much of myself in her. But yeah, like I said, I want to do things a bit different, because like Jane was saying, just, you know, helping too much. And that's why I go back to self-care and curing up and taking care of yourself so that you can help others, because yeah, so she's my inspiration, like a homeowner, you know, businesswoman, worker, mother. She did it all. But I think it would have been nice if she got that help, and there was times where she was just able to rest and take a break, and, you know, yeah.
Okay.
So inspiration.
That's amazing. That's so cute, honestly.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah, that is sweet. And we all have daughters on here.
Oh yeah.
So how do you guys feel like, I mean, how are you going to translate how you embark on this journey with your daughter? What kind of things are you going to impart in your daughters that's going to, you know, make them go-getters? Are they going to lead their own journeys? How are you working that out? I mean, they might be young now, but...
Wow, it's hard. I don't think I'm going to do anything different to, like, with my daughter than I do with my son. So I think the same things that I kind of input in parenting my son is the same thing I'm going to do with my daughter. I don't know if there's anything different that I'm going to do, but I feel like naturally she is very different. So there's yeah, naturally she is. So I do believe that there is some things that's just within a woman's nature. Like, even though we're all different, I think there's some things that's just within us, within our nature. But I don't think there is anything that I'm actually really going to do differently. I think I'm going to, you know, instill the same kind of like morals and values and all that good stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Jane, no?
I think with what I do with my girls anyway, I make sure that they they actually are aware of any issues that I'm facing. So like I said earlier about, you know, my workplace issue that I had, Lila knew all about that. I needed her to make sure she knew what was happening, because in being female in certain areas as well, she needs to see that it's difficult. She's not going to have the easy upbringing in that sense of being able to have certain opportunities. And she's not white, she's a black child, so she's going to face even more. So any experiences that I face or my partner faces, we always make sure that she's around so she understands what's happening, so she's ready and, you know, has a better insight of what to expect. She knows that, you know, the grass is not green on the other side. She knows she's going to have to fight. So, and I think she's already been born into a lot of issues, face herself and try to get herself out of. So I think already she was born into knowing that it's not easy. And yeah, I think for them to be able to see and go through these experiences, and even like certain things like watching you be able, you know, talking about having to pay the bills, how you manage your finances and things like that, and they're surrounded by that, it helps them, and it gives them a sense of, okay, I'm not being taught about finances in school, but my mum and dad, or, you know, my mum is this, and it gives it, I don't know, it's like it gives them a better
understanding.
Understanding, exactly. And I think that's probably the best ways. It's like, just don't cotton wool it. Literally, they need to know that, you know, you have this amount of money in the bank to be able to pay this. Leave the lights on, you need to turn it off after 6, etc. Put the washing machine
light on.
They need to know.
I'm like, why are we keeping the bathroom light on so you can get a bit of light through your room? Like, go to sleep, you're nearly 9.
Literally, honestly.
For me, like, it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I hear you guys, what you're saying. And for me, I mean, I have a boy and a girl, well, a girl and a boy, because she came first. And they're completely different. And obviously they, you know, half Arab, half English. So it's a bit of a mix up when it comes to Christmas and Eid, and, you know, them knowing different, you know, cultures and stuff. And I found that my daughter is more English and my son is more Arab, and that's the way it is.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's just the way it is, and it's just even the way they look, actually. But I just think that I am going to treat them slightly different, not different, but I'm going to teach them differently a little bit. Like, so when someone asks my son, "Are you a Muslim?" you know, he quickly says yes. Or are you, you know, where are you from? He would say, you know, from, you know, Iraq and whatever. And Amira would just say English. So it's, yes, I'm going to have to, you know, make sure that they know, you know, you have this culture. You are a Muslim, you've been brought up with Muslim, you know, upbringing and, you know, morals. And yeah, you are English as well, and this is the culture. Yeah, I don't discriminate between anything. So then Christmas, they'll still go to their nanny's house and they celebrate Christmas, but they'll also celebrate Eid with my mum's, you know, my side of the family. But yeah, it's just obviously the direction is quite different for both of them anyway. And it's just the way it is. It's I don't know where it came from, but it's just the way.
That's amazing how that's kind of just happened naturally as well.
Yeah, just naturally. It's quite fascinating. But they it's like what Jane said. It's literally, you know, treating them like young adults.
Yeah.
And, you know, teaching them through everything that you're doing, you know, and making sure that they're involved because they are part of your life. And not just to treat them like kids, you know, have an iPad or something.
Yeah.
In the corner.
And letting them know that life is actually real. Like, obviously, there are some kids that are so naive. They'll be at their parents' house and they'll leave and get, you know, live by themselves. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh, you got to pay for a light. Oh,
Yeah.
You got
When we go to the supermarket and they want XYZ, I'm like, have you got money? Are you going to pay for that?
Yeah.
Are you going to do some chores then? Okay then.
That's our motto. Every time we go out there, there's rice. There's rice at home. You're not having that, man.
You sound like my mum, Jane. You sound like my mum. Like, no, I can go home and cook. Why are we getting paid for it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So are you guys looking forward to the podcast when it comes
Yeah.
out? Or to film it, should I say?
Bring it on.
Exciting.
Yes, yes, yes. So, guys, forgot to say that we are supported by iLaw Cosmetics. We're also supported by Cano Water and Elf Cosmetics as well. So they'll be gifting us some products, and then you'll be seeing them popping up in our photo shoot that you'll see, and then obviously in our podcast episodes that we'll be posting. So you'll be seeing us with those products on, and obviously we're looking for more sponsors. So guys, if you're out there and you see this, bring it forth, bring it forth. Bring it forth. We've got 6 lovely ladies, including myself, that's going to be modeling your products. So yeah.
Any home,
Angles.
land, money,
So yeah, so thank you girls so much. My phone is going to die.
Thank you for having
No, but
me.
I've had so much fun tonight. Obviously our first live, I think it went quite good. It was
Yeah.
quite successful. There was, I don't know if there was any questions. Should I just scroll quickly and see? There's a lot of activity happening.
Loads of
Hello ladies, hello gorgeous ladies. Nice to meet you all. Such a beautiful cast. Impressive. Jane, you look lovely. You girls look so beautiful. Just a lot of love. We love it, guys.
yeah.
Trust me, this is where I am at now. Loving it. How do you deal with the stress of motherhood?
Cry.
That's our last question.
Well,
Yeah.
we don't.
We don't. Take each day as it comes. For me personally, each day as it comes, literally each and every day that it comes. Wednesday is not going to be the same as Friday. I'm sorry, it just isn't.
What?
Sorry. So I envy those that have routines for their kids and it sticks, but for me, that's just not how it runs in my household. What about for you girls?
Oh gosh. Me and routine. Don't know what that is. Like,
I mean, the pandemic has obviously thrown a lot of things out.
yeah.
I do try to. I think since Leo or since the 3rd child, but I do try to put like a routine in. Like I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like it wants to work. And
Yeah.
you said, Corinne, different days, different outputs, and I mean it depends on how I am as well and what my mood is. Because if you're going to bed straight 6 o'clock, you're going to bed. But
Yeah.
10 p.m. Okay. I don't know. It's just it seems like a myth to me. Like these people that have got everything to a T. It's a myth. I'm sorry, it is.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the amount of times I'm like, oh, guys, come on, join me to do an activity or join me, we go outside for walks, and they're just not on it. And I think maybe it's because the age as well.
Yeah.
They're like 10 and 9. It's like they're building their own character and they just, you know, but the only routine that I've got on lock is that they go to bed at 8. That is about it. Yeah, like you guys said, it's all very up and down. And I actually, since obviously lockdown as well, it's been even harder. And I hope that we'll get some routine going again. So that's actually what I'm talking to, Chris, my partner, about, and I'll get some sort of routine. But it is hard, and you know what? Just don't stress. Go with the flow, and just make sure they go to bed on time so you can get your own time.
So you can watch Netflix.
Netflix and chill.
Literally. Is that what's in that cup?
No.
Oh. Okay, guys. So we'll end it here. But thank you so much, even for the go before. I already know this is going to be a blast. Like, I had so much fun tonight. I hope everybody kind of got an insight to what the girls are going to be like on the podcast. Hopefully we'll be able to do more lives like this, and just get everybody kind of getting to know y'all. And then we could do like really cute topics as well and get everybody kind of involved.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely. I think that would be good.
And we're hoping to do a series of like different events. So like maybe we'll open it up and do like a big brunch where we can have like our followers and stuff like come and
Music.
be with us and, you know, celebrate, have some champagne. We can like dress up, just do something nice. Like, you know, Boris is letting us out. Why don't we just take advantage of it? Because he might just put the key back into the door and lock us back in. So yeah. So cool. Thank you so much, girls.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Take care. Bye. Bye. Thank you so much, guys. Right, I don't know how to come out of this. Bye. Thanks for joining.